Good morning, everyone. My name is Captain Randy Lee, and I would like to welcome you all to the FDNY Fire Zone, our state-of-the-art fire safety learning center here in Rockefeller Center. After our brief program, our firefighters will give anyone interested in a tour of the facility. Today, we are here to say thank you for supporting fire safety. I'd like to start off by introducing the FDNY Fire Commissioner, Laura Kavanaugh.
Thank you so much, Randy. Thank you so much for being here today. As everybody here knows, everybody up here from the fire department has really been calling out over the last few months to bring attention to the danger of lithium-ion batteries, dangers to the citizens of New York and to our first responders. And so we are incredibly grateful that people have heard us and are joining us together, our partners in governing, Councilmember Keith Powers, who's behind me. And our stakeholders in the business of deliveries in New York City, Grubhub, DoorDash, and Uber, have come together to support us today on this very significant issue. Also, thank you to the FDNY Foundation, always our partner in safety. The chairman, Steve Russo, is here, as well as the executive director, Gino Shea, and I'd like to thank them for their partnership as well. We have seen an incredibly significant increase in the number of fires caused by lithium-ion batteries in the last few years. This year alone, we are at 67 fires and 5 deaths due to these batteries. The fires are incredibly fast-moving and create a very heavy volume of fire. They are incredibly destructive, and we are very, very concerned, as you have heard, but the risk that the fires pose to our members and to the public. The FDNY has conducted an incredibly robust public outreach about the spread, awareness, how to prevent these fires, and how to own and operate a bike safely. We are pleased to partner today with members of the industry, as this work is critical at protecting the lives of our members and the lives of the public. We know that we need to work together to help in our safety messaging to ensure that the public is informed of best practices when it comes to using micromobility devices. We will continue to work with federal, state, and local partners to look for solutions and spread awareness until this is no longer a danger to the city. We are very grateful to work with our industry partners. Grubhub and DoorDash are here today to increase the use of safe e-bikes and safe lithium-ion batteries. Thank you to the foundation and everyone else here to keep New Yorkers and our members safe. Thanks.
Thank you, Commissioner. It is my pleasure to now introduce the chairman of the FDNY Foundation, Mr. Steve Russo.
Thank you. Keep this very short. On behalf of the FDNY Foundation Board of Directors, thank you for joining us today at the state-of-the-art Fire Zone. Today is National Delivery Day, so it's very meaningful that we're all here today. We want to thank our partners Uber, Grubhub, and DoorDash for your generous donations. These funds will assist us in promoting fire safety education. Your support will help provide fire safety messaging, education, and outreach to New Yorkers that is focused on the deadly risks posed by lithium-ion batteries. This will save lives, protect property, and prevent death and injury to New Yorkers and to our firefighters, EMTs, and paramedics. The FDNY Foundation thanks you very much.
At this time, we're going to ask Representative from Grubhub, Vice President of the Government Affairs New York City Division, Amy Healy, to speak.
Thank you, Commissioner Kavanaugh, Chairman Russo, and thank you to the FDNY and FDNY Foundation for hosting us here today. My name is Amy Healy, Vice President of Government Affairs at Grubhub. Grubhub is very grateful for the opportunity to be here today to talk about how we can work together to stem the fires caused by lithium-ion batteries that continue to impact communities across New York City. On this and other related issues, Grubhub has worked collaboratively with city leaders, the FDNY, and industry partners to advance the safety of the entire e-bike lifecycle. Delivery workers are essential to thousands of communities and businesses, including Grubhub's, and helping to ensure their safety and the safety of all New Yorkers is our top priority. This is why Grubhub is expanding our commitment to our delivery partners by rolling out several new initiatives to help them utilize e-bikes in New York City in a safe and sustainable way. This morning, we introduced Grubhub's e-bike lifecycle safety program. As part of this program, Grubhub is introducing a pilot program with JOCO, a leading e-bike rental platform founded in New York City in 2021. The JOCO partnership will provide at least 500 delivery partners free access to more than 1,000 safety-certified e-bikes, as well as more than 55 JOCO hubs for continuous, safe e-bike storage, battery exchange, and distribution of delivery rider gear. Throughout this pilot phase, Grubhub will work closely with JOCO to gather insights and think through how each of our companies can advance e-bike and battery safety moving forward. I'm also excited to share that the Grubhub Community Fund will support the FDNY Foundation with a grant of $100,000. This grant will help it to advance the Foundation's public education campaign on fire safety and prevention, specifically addressing the safe use of lithium-ion batteries. These initiatives are just the beginning of Grubhub's e-bike life cycle safety program. I'm excited that there's more to come in the months ahead. For example, we're currently in active discussions with partners to establish a battery recycling program to take in non-certified devices. We know that no single program, manufacturer, company, or government entity can solve this problem. That's why I'm so encouraged by the collaboration and the efforts by organizations from both the public and private sectors, many of which are represented here today, and why Grubhub is committed to working with any partners and exploring any reasonable efforts to prevent tragic fires from occurring in the future. Thank you again to the FDNY, the Foundation, and representatives from the city here today, including Councilmember Keith Powers. We look forward to continuing this conversation with you all and helping to keep communities across New York City safe. Thank you.
Thank you. We would now like to welcome from DoorDash, Senior Manager, Government Relations, New York and New Jersey, Sasha Owen.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I want to thank Fire Commissioner Kavanaugh, Chairman Russo, Foundation Director O'Shea, Chief Hodgins, and Councilmember Powers. We are very, very proud to stand here today with partners of the FDNY and the FDNY Foundation to raise awareness about this important issue as DoorDash expands our financial commitment to promoting lithium-ion battery safety throughout New York City. We've all seen the devastating effects that unsafe lithium-ion batteries and dangerous charging practices have had on our communities. At DoorDash, we are deeply committed to the safety of everyone in our community. We know we have a role to play in addressing these challenges and that there is much more for us to do together to keep all New Yorkers safe. It is clear that the best way to fight fires caused by unsafe mobility devices is to stop them from happening in the first place. That's why we're committed to promoting safety through education and outreach to those in our community who use mobility devices powered by lithium-ion batteries. We have been partnering with the FDNY to share its guidance for safely purchasing, charging, and storing lithium-ion batteries directly to delivery workers who use our platform, and will continue to regularly remind them of these best practices. Our financial commitment today is one of many steps we are taking to build on our existing safety efforts. We have been partnering with e-bike suppliers Zumo and Derwin to make high-quality bikes and batteries more affordable and accessible. Our goal is to be a constructive partner to New York City policymakers, public safety agencies, and community leaders to better address these emerging safety risks and identify long-term solutions to this complex problem. I want to thank everyone here today for coming together around our shared goal of keeping our city safe and our local economy strong. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Our friends from Uber cannot be with us today, but we want to give them a big shout out and thank them for their tremendous and ongoing support of the FDNY and the FDNY Foundation. At this time, we were going to invite City Council Member Keith Powers to the podium to say a few words.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you. I'm City Council Member Keith Powers. I'm the representative for where we're standing right now, but more importantly to me, someone who's been trying to address this crisis in the City Council and work with our partners in the fire department and delivery companies to make sure that we can have a safer city when it comes to this crisis that we're in. We are in an all hands on deck moment right now when it comes to these fires that are traveling all throughout the city, and feels like every district in the City Council right now is getting impacted by them. I think on behalf of the City Council, want to say deep gratitude to the fire department and the firefighters who are going there and risking their lives, including one in my district where they did an absolutely heroic display of bravery and professionalism to save lives of two people in a building in Midtown in my district, and it proves once again we have the best fire department in the entire world, and we're really proud of them. But we owe them and we owe the people who live in this city a safer city. And in the City Council, we've been working on legislation, including just two bills I have, to make sure that we can get the unsafe batteries off the street and that we can provide a safer way to charge them and give people more certainty about what's happening inside their buildings. And I want to thank the companies who are all here today for not only for the generosity, of course, but for being willing and good partners in those conversations, coming to the table with their best ideas nationwide and importing them into the city to make sure that we address this. We are all here for the same cause, and we're all working together, and it's a team effort to make sure that we save lives and we make sure that our firefighters are safe in this city every time they walk into a fire and walk into a building. So, and the last thing I'd say is we at the City Council have called on in our city budget, which is being released today, to add in $3 million for additional education and outreach to make sure, and I was the spearheaded that effort to make sure that we can give our fire department even more resources and tools to go out and talk to those in the industry and to be able to train their firefighters and do a lot more to make sure that this crisis doesn't go unaddressed and that we are resourcing and funding it. So I hope that today when the budget's released, we'll see that. But certainly I'll be continuing to fight for $3 million, maybe $5 million, whatever we need to keep our city safe and to keep everyone safe. And so with that, I want to thank everyone here for being part of this effort to make sure that we are doing this, all the companies here. And I want to say a very deep thank you to the commissioner for being, I think, feel like endlessly on the phone with me when I have questions about what to do, how to go from there. And to all the firefighters and the entire fire department, you guys, as I said, and I'll say it again, are the best in the world. You guys have proven it in my district and throughout the city. And we owe you guys to have, to make sure you guys are safe. So thank you everyone for your efforts here today. And I hope we will continue to work together on this crisis that we are in right now. Thanks.
Can I say one last thing?
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to note one last thing because a few of you were there at the press conference we did on Sunday with Senators Schumer and Gillibrand. But one question that was asked at that time is, even with this regulation, what else do we need to do? And I think today answers that question. That federal regulation is incredibly critical. But what I said on Sunday was bikes are here now. So even regulated bikes that are coming in soon don't address the question of the bikes that are here now. And I think today is addressing the question of how do we make sure that people that have a bike in their home today, a delivery worker that's using a bike for their job today, can do that more safely. So I think that's a very important point. We have to come at it from all angles, the mayor's office, the city council, the federal government, as well as our partners in the private sector. And I think it's a really important thing to note as we tackle this crisis. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Council Member. On behalf of the Fire Commissioner, Chief of Department, and the FDNY Foundation, I want to thank you all for joining us here today. Please feel free to tour the facility and have a great day.
Fire Commissioner Esposito at the hearing said there is no safe battery. We've got our dear FDNY members risking their lives. 2 kids have died in the last few weeks. Why not say, this is all well and good, but in the meantime, let's push to make these e-bikes illegal. There are no safe ones, according to our own commissioner, our own chief.
So I'm not sure about the comment you're referencing, but I would go back to what, I'm sure you're right. It's out of context. What I would say is what I just referenced, the building that Councilmember Powers was referencing where our members hung out of a 21st story window was a building in which bikes and e-bikes were banned. And so we must come at this from every angle. The bikes are here and we must do something about that. And that's what we're doing today. So we are looking at regulation with the federal government. We're looking at regulation with the city. But we also have to consider that these are being used whether or not they are banned, and we have to do something about that.
Does anyone want to talk about banning them? These fires keep happening. It's tragic. It's preventable.
It is tragic and it's preventable, but again, in the majority of fires and the tragedies we've had, these are unregulated bikes that are illegal anyways. And so we need to do something about that, even as we look at certain batteries that should be banned because they are dangerous. I will point out, like the phone you have in your hands has a lithium-ion battery in it, and it is not dangerous. And so it is possible to have a safe battery. That's not the same as bikes. That is a different story. So we're looking at both what items need to be banned, what needs to be regulated, what needs to be removed, and then how do we educate folks who have illegal or dangerous or banned batteries anyways in their homes.
Can somebody talk about the $100,000 that's being donated for outreach? What is that going to pay for? Will it be pamphlets, 60,000 delivery people? They can't all, different languages. There are language barriers. And these are billion-dollar companies that are giving this money.
So I can speak to what all of our fire safety education outreach does, and then maybe Chairman Ruzu would also like to weigh in. It does everything you're speaking to and more. So we work directly with whether it's clergy, council members, the local media, to put together bilingual ads, to do outreach. We've done some very specific events with the deliveristas, who represents the delivery workers, doing outreach through them to get directly to the delivery worker community. And so it comes in every shape and form, our education. We do thousands of events every year, and that's what this money will go towards. I'll let Chairman Russo also weigh in on other things the foundation does.
First of all, let me clarify. It's not 100,000. It's 300,000 because it's 100,000 from each one of the three companies. That will go a little.
Each company is worth in the hundreds of millions and billions. Is that correct?
I assume you're right, but still, it's very generous contribution. $300,000 going to fire safety education. We fund the fire safety education unit. We have mobile trucks that have video screens on them. These will now be used for this educational program. We do fire safety education literature in 26 languages. That'll also be able to address this situation. So this is going to go a long way.
These delivery workers don't make a lot of money. The knockoffs cost about $200. The legitimate ones, which we still can't guarantee are safe, are $1,000.
I can speak to that quickly.
Sure.
So we worked with the Consumer Product Safety Commission and UL, and it actually only costs about 10 cents per device to get one certified. And so those costs are not only very small, but should not be passed along to the delivery workers. It is actually quite affordable to create a certified battery if a company is interested in doing so. And so we're working to make sure with the Consumer Product Safety Commission that companies are actually doing that. It's critical.
But the problem is that the guys on the bikes, they buy the inexpensive ones. That's why they make that choice.
So I have a bill in the council right now that we just had a hearing and we're going to try to pass that actually would get those ones off the street and replace them with legal certified battery. That, to me, fills in the gap in the meantime while we just have a new law that we just passed that also bans uncertified batteries from being sold in this city. There's always going to be the ones that are out there already, and we know there'll still be some that people get in other places or bring into the city, but we have to have a program to get them off the street. That, my legislation, I think, combined with the bill we passed just a month or two ago, I think will significantly help getting those ones off the street and addressing that gap that you mentioned.
Any other questions?